Welcome to This Week in Washington for Wednesday, January 30th, 2013. One of our goals in the year ahead has been to look at offering new ways to help our members and the larger transportation community meet the changing financial situation many of our people find themselves in. The local financial share of projects and financing operations has been extremely difficult for the last 2 years, as the troubling issue of local economic conditions have influenced the way many of our members participate with local government in various projects and financing. This is extremely difficult for those who depend on local governments to provide local share or matching cost under their federal assistance programs. All of us know the benefits of getting new equipment, whether it's new, more fuel-efficient vehicles, whether it's more hardware and software that can be used to make an operation more efficient, or to make improvements in a facility. But many of these that receive grant funds require local share that's difficult to get. In another area of financial concern, the rising number of new initiatives in healthcare are pretty much all based upon cost reimbursement methodologies. As we know from some of our members who deal with brokerages or state reimbursements, there are places that some people have had to wait 6 months to get their costs reimbursed. The average around the country is 60 to 90 days. As healthcare transportation changes, the chances are, especially in a managed care environment, that these difficulties will increase and that the payment processes will be much longer and more drawn out. These two significant areas are something that we can do something about. Unlike many other problems, we've had a number of efforts in the last decade to deal with these. We've tried financing non-federal share over several years for some of our members, and we've also tried loaning funds to people successfully for operating expenses until they are reimbursed. The difficulty that we've had is the funds that we've been able to use for these purposes have been limited and tied to some geographic location. That is all going to change in March. And what I'd like to do is to cover two important new efforts we're going to make in financing that will benefit our members as part of the work we're continuing to do under our Transportation Lending Services Corporation, CDTLS. Thanks to our status as a CDFI, and as people who can process and make SBA 7A loans, CTAA will be able to provide its members financial assistance in securing local share by loaning funds to our members and allowing them to repay it over 3 or 5 years. This gives them a chance to stretch out the local share, even though we have given them the full amount to use as match over a 3 to 5 year period. Additionally, these funds will be made available at an extremely low interest rate. We estimate less than 6%. On the same side, those who need operating help, working capital, will also be able to apply to CDTLS for a loan pretty much along the same terms, 3 years or 5 years depending upon their need, and be able to obtain financing on a less than 6% level. The big difference for us, of course, is that instead of having limited funding, because we are now a 7A provider, we'll be able to provide these funds to anyone in the country, and we will be able to provide them in unlimited amounts. Of course, like all of our other loan programs and activities, there will be requirements. People will have to have good financial histories. or we can work with them to develop one. In some respects, there will be different, as I call them, hoops that people have to jump through to get financial assistance. But we've always been good with working with people in that regard. And I think that the key here isn't so much that there may be different ways to make applications work. It is that people are going to be able to access the capital that they need. As we look forward to the year ahead and the years that come after, we will need to continue to work to diversify the kind of financial arrangements that exist in our field. Money's tight, government money is tighter. We need to try to harness the vast potential of the private sector to help people who are in our field, regardless of where, in meeting their financial obligations. I always like to say that the key to the future is being flexible, and this is a new, innovative, and flexible response by us to help our members. As you know, one of my favorite phrases comes from an old New Deal line that said, "We do our part." Well, CTAA and CTDLS are going to be able to play a new part in helping people with their non-federal share matching funds and with operating capital. In the meantime, as we continue to develop that and have that ready for a rollout both in March and a follow-up at Expo, we're also looking for other ways that we can help people meet their financial needs in different ways that are affordable, that help them meet their growing needs in a tight market for financial assistance. So, outside of my usual message about what's going on in Washington, today's message is really about what we can do to help our members directly, and that we can do the same things that we encourage other people to do. And we're able to offer this level of help by working with the private sector and doing a little out-of-the-box thinking ourselves. So, we're open to new ideas. If you have some ideas you want us to make sure that get included, I hope that you'll let me know, and that you'll look forward to helping us roll out this concept and idea that will be of such a big help to many of our members in the year ahead. Thanks. I hope you have a nice week, and I'll be back soon. Bye for now.